Schmied, good morning to you, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my final day out here in the UAE, and in particular today we're in Abu Dhabi because last night we've stayed at the Viceroy Hotel at Yas Marina circuit, but given this is my final day here I wanted to do a little bit of a vlog, and the very best bit about it is that I have woken up to this, the sound of Formula One, the Ferrari F1 car, the Haas F1 car, all of the teams are here doing testing at Yas Marina circuit, and literally, honest to God, this is the way I have woken up, listening to this noise. So today we're going to head back over to Dubai, talk a bit about the RS3. There's something I want to let you know about that has been around in my mind for a couple of years. Then I'm just going to see where it goes. It's the last day out here, it's been an exceptional trip, but let's start off listening to this stuff. The view from up here is just mega, and literally there goes a Red Bull car past the marina. We were watching the race over the weekend from down here with the Gargash yacht, which was awesome fun. All of the cars. Renault car coming through. It's just, well, the Yas Marina bridge over to the Viceroy. What a hotel view. I think literally all the teams are going round. That's Red Bull. Toro Rosso. Listen to this noise all day long, occasionally interrupted by the noise of an Etihad A380 going overhead. We should really get today started and head on out, get the bags packed and depart from Abu Dhabi from today. Literally as I speak, there goes a plane, not a 380 though right now. The view, my goodness, it's only interrupted by this ornate design around the outside of the building, but it doesn't stop the sound. What a way to start the day, this is just crazy. The track action has actually just been red flagged. Maybe we pop back and have another look again later on, but for now we're going to pop off into Abu Dhabi with the Audi RS3 Sedan. So you might remember we swapped the TTRS to the RS3. It's been interesting experiencing the two cars dynamically. The RS3 slightly less than the TTRS, but then better in terms of luggage. And basically, as a support camera daily car, pretty freaking awesome. 400 odd horsepower, very, very comfortable, decent amount of space. I'm about to load it up into the boot as well, but plenty of room in here. Good old Audi puddle lights. And just come round to the back of the car, open up the boot. Plenty of room back in here for all of our luggage and junk and stuff, so we'll load that up in a moment, and then it'll be time to head on out. Something I'm a big fan of is the startup noise of this car. It is very, very fruity. That screen is quite cool as well, the virtual cockpit. But then, little burble. You've got the exhaust valves right now, nobody likes those. Off we go, although we very quickly need to get fuel. We've only got 25 kilometers of fuel left in here. But out over the bridge, where I guess the track is still, yeah, it looks pretty quiet and closed to me. But as usual, guess what? It's hot and sunny today. What a surprise, I would never have guessed. It is gonna suck going back from this to the weather in the UK and Germany, both of which will basically be freezing and near on snow. The first actual stop on today's agenda has been to visit Abu Dhabi Motors, the BMW dealership that I actually did a piece showing you guys around before now, but also to do a full feature piece with the M760 Li, the most crazy, overloaded technological marvel with a huge stonking V12 as well. So I have thoroughly enjoyed that. Full video on the channel, go check it out. But also here I noticed there's a new X3 M40i. We didn't have the M40i for the press launch, just the diesel engines, but that's quite nice as well in Phaeton Blue, I think it's called. But now we're going to jump back in the car, head back over to Yas Marina again to check out the Formula One cars over some lunch. This is ridiculous. That was a Williams car, all sorts of different testing going on, but we're about to have lunch with this view. The cars head down towards the hairpin at the far end, and then they boot it goes by a whole load of testing. I think it's tyres with Pirelli, and it's also reserve drivers, that kind of thing. But awesome to be able to see the cars this close. However, I think in a moment, the Renault, the Sauber, the Ferrari before that, we should jump back in the RS3. We should head over to Dubai and get on to the main topic, I think, of this video when we get over there. This is a kind of cool view across Dubai, so that's quite far inland. In the very far distance up there, you can maybe just spot the Burj Khalifa, and then over that away is the whole marina area. Better viewed from there, but the sun is setting. We're nearly back. We're actually heading to hand back our little RS3, and then we'll head back into Dubai after. The sun's dropping, and it's time now to say a proper farewell to the RS3, and it's a big thanks to Audi Middle East. We've been driving with the R8 Spider, the TTRS, and with the RS3 Sedan out here, the saloon, for those of us back home in the UK. I have very much enjoyed them, so a big thanks to them. But let's head now over to Ain Class, one of the best supercar dealerships here in Dubai, because there is one car in particular that I'd like to talk about and show you guys. Now, there's a reason that I refer to this showroom as a small slice of heaven, and I think if you take a little look inside the windows behind me, you start to understand why. We've got the SLR Sterling Moss, the Aston Martin 177Q Series, a bright orange McLaren P1, there's actually another P1 further towards the back behind a 918 Spider. Basically, it is overload of the world's most incredible cars. There is, however, one in particular that I'd like to talk to you about today if I come down further in this direction, not the Carrera GT, as lovely as it is, or the SLR behind it, but one very bright blue Koenigsegg CCXR, known as the Special One. Some of my videos in the early days started out filming this car, and believe it or not, once upon a time, I actually nearly bought that very car. Now that will need more explanation, so we'll head inside. I'll tell you a little bit more about that story and how it nearly came about, but didn't quite in the end. It was this exact one. It's here in Dubai. Let's head inside Ain Class and take a look. We are surrounded in here by the very finest cars. You have a GT2 RS, a Versace Edition LP640 Roadster, and basically the very best of everything. However, the one in particular I would like to come and talk to you about, which we have seen through glass. It used to be a supercar of London, and potentially it could have become a Shmeemobile, the Koenigsegg CCXR Special One. Nicknamed the Special One because of the very distinctive bright turquoise exterior and interior that we'll see in a moment, but it's a car that has a huge history, both in terms of the videos that I've shot for Shmee 150, but also this other little story that I would like to tell you about. However, first, let's take a walk around it and talk about the car in general and just what exactly it is. So the CCXR was the final version of the CC model. So you had the CC8, then the CCR, then the CCX, and finally the CCXR before it was replaced with Koenigsegg's Agera, then the Agera RS being the latest one that you probably know reasonably well from these videos. However, this is a 2010 car, and back then was right when I started my Shmee 150 YouTube channel, filming cars like this and including this, driving around the centre of London. So this was one of the first ever cars that I ran after, sprinted after, and even cycled after, both in London and in Paris, to try and shoot car spotting videos to get really my YouTube channel started. So long before I knew where it could ever go, it was this car that had come from Qatar. It went to London, then later on, like I said, went to Paris, and eventually it found itself out here in Dubai. So it has over 1,000 horsepower, crazy, I guess, UFO spaceship style looks. I always thought this generation of Koenigsegg looked awesome, immensely wide, very low, that roof that you can store away in the front. But as well as that history element and what the car was, I suppose, in terms of the videos I've made, like I said, it's also a car that at one point I was quite keen on purchasing. So the car has been for sale a number of times in the past, and once, about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, when I had my 650S and was thinking about buying a 675 LT, hadn't yet got my first coupe LT, this car came up for market at what seemed at the time like quite an agreeable price. So I was quite interested in seeing whether it was possible as an investment to use the car in going ahead and looking into it. However, I was too late. It got bought.
It did then come back to market, and I talked a little bit with the new owner, I think at the time, or through some brokers at the time, about maybe seeing if it was possible. However, unfortunately, the price climbed a little bit too much for me, and I was out. So that was when I bought my LT Coupe, my Porsche Cayman GT4, and my Ferrari FF. But don't get me wrong, I am hugely fond of this. I think Koenigsegg's are brilliant. And this particular one, to me, just with that story of history and the blue, obviously, if you know me, blue, that's a bit of a given. It just felt like it could have been something. Who knows? Anyway, maybe it will in the future. Not right now, I can tell you that. Please don't go and get any ideas. But quite honestly, it nearly could have happened. This car in the turquoise with all of the carbon highlights right up my street. And come and have a look at this interior properly. It is a crazy, awesome thing. Special One embroidered in the blue leather around the dashboard. I love it. I really love it. It's a very, very nice car. And now, guys, you know a little bit more of the story and history almost of what could have been. I think it would have been epic. There's no question about that. But prices of these things have just gone up and up and up and up. And now, quite frankly, it's way too late to acquire a car like that unless you really don't mind. But I've been growing my collection, I think, as you know, with some other cars, so I'm not going to complain one bit. Well, that's going to bring us to an end of this extraordinary adventure. And I'm just going to walk outside Ain Class to reflect a little bit, even just on today. Waking up to the Formula One cars at Yas Marina, sadly saying farewell to the RS3, but then being reunited with a very, quite literally special and significant car in my history of the Shmee150 YouTube channel, the CCXR, here at Ain Class. I'd just like to say, though, a very, very big thank you to everyone who has made all of the videos that I've filmed while I've been out here in the UAE, in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi possible. And of course, also thank you ever so much to all of you guys watching and supporting this adventure, without whom none of it would be possible. So really and truly, thank you ever so much. Anyway, that brings us to an end of this Dubai visit. It has been incredible, incredibly, incredibly, incredibly incredible, if I can say that at all. I know that that makes no sense at all, but I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you again, guys, and I'll be sure to see you again very soon. So be subscribed, stay tuned, and I'll catch up with you then. Cheers.